ending wasn't very good, but it was a very, very powerful promo is what they call them in professional wrestling. I've been able to meet some of the professional wrestlers. I'm pretty happy. Yeah, John Cena's just a sweetheart. I mean, he follows everyone on Twitter. He does more Make-A-Wish Foundation wishes than anybody in history, which is really kind of impressive. We would consider hiring a product mommy. Oscar, listen, Oscar, I don't know what high horse you're on. WWE's quality family entertainment. It goes back in my family 3 generations. We came to America and adopted Americana. But if you want real... Stole copies of the Wu-Tang album, the one I bought? Interesting idea. When you pay for something, how do you steal it? Good. It's an interesting one. I also want, I mean, I watch this all the time, but I want you guys to watch this. I'm a fella, I'm proud of it. Yeah, I would consider that Rise. Just shoot me a message. Where'd the video go? Oh, here it is. No! No! The post has been deleted. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Okay. No, 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 no. I need to save that. Okay, this is it.
Instead of looking up to Thomas Jefferson or looking up to Nikola Tesla or looking up to Magellan. I mean, kids, Magellan's a lot cooler than Justin Bieber. He circumnavigated with one ship the entire planet. That's destiny, that's will, that's striving, that's being a trailblazer, an explorer, going into space, mathematics, quantum mechanics, the secrets of the universe. It's all there. Life is fiery with its beauty, its incredible detail. Tuning into it. Unlock your human potential. Defeat the globalists who want to shutter your mind, your doorways to perception. I want to see you truly live. I want to see you truly be who you are. I don't want my progeny who's coming, my unborn grandchildren and great-grandchildren, to live in this nightmare system these control freaks have created. That's why I don't care about my own life, except I want to continue to live to fight them. That's why I don't have fear. I only have fear of myself and my flesh and not being up to the challenge. And I ask you to look in the mirror and ask yourself, what are you doing in this time of great challenge? What are you doing to unlock minds? Once you unlock a mind, once you unlock somebody, then they can unlock their soul.
Let's go. I don't know if you guys saw the news about 2 Sigma. Pretty interesting things going on at that firm. Hope they get through whatever they get going through. Just Alex Jones Founders Fund. Alex Jones, secret silent partner. No, I'm kidding. That'd be dope, though. I don't even like Alex Jones. It's a little too nutty for me, but he's not. Sometimes he says the right thing, but the Sandy Hook thing is really bad. That was a bit of not a bit of a disgrace. That was a disgrace. I'm not sure he should have paid any fines, though. That was a disgrace, too. you know, First Amendment and whatnot. Not talking about COVID, but COVID vaccine works, by the way. It's just public health. It worked in a trial, I'll say that. I'm still a vaxxer. I'm still a pro-vaxxer. I am the farmer bro. Probably 5-10% of what Alex Jones says is true. Maybe 30-40%. I don't know. I haven't done the quantitative analysis. He's very entertaining. I'm not pro any vaccine. Every medicine has to be studied for its relative merits. Most FDA-approved products are good enough to take. You know, I do believe the FDA is good at what they do. The COVID stuff is it's hard to. It's hard to really get the COVID stuff because it's normally in public health when a vaccine is mandated or highly recommended by ACIP, normally it'll get used. There's here's the thing, I'm retarded. No, normally once ACIP says take this vaccine, everyone takes it. You know, for whatever reason, everyone kind of bucked the system for this one. So if people buck the system, you're not going to get vaccination. You're not going to get coverage. You're not going to get herd immunity. And combine that with 4chan, where I grew up, you're gonna have other issues. So I do think the clinical trial for the COVID vaccine is legitimate. It's hard to fake a clinical trial. And there were 2 clinical trials, so they all worked. I don't think the medical complex is corrupt. The FDA is very solid. Very solid. The FDA doesn't play games. You deal with these guys, they love medicine. They love public safety. It's very, very interesting how they operate. They are not political at all. They are bureaucratic, but they are not political at all. Yeah, the vaccine probably did reduce a lot of deaths and severity, but it would have been a lot more effective if everyone adopted it. mRNAs, you know, it worked. It was one of the most amazing clinical trial results I've ever seen. It was like a spectacle. It almost was too good. And it's a shame that it didn't seem necessarily like the real-world experience was mimicked the clinical trial experience, but the thing about the real world is you never know what you're going to get. And the real world isn't a clinical trial. And you can't do a clinical trial in the real world. I can explain mRNA some other time, but suffice it to say that, you know, RNA becomes protein. And by injecting mRNA, you can create protein antigen. In the old ways, you could just give the protein. Either way, you get a vaccine. As long as you're giving something that isn't a real antigen and maybe an adjuvant to get the immune system pumping. Either way, you've got yourself a vaccine. So nothing special about mRNA. Just was surprising that it worked. But protein vaccines still work. There's all kinds of vaccines. Inactivated vaccines, live vaccines. There's even DNA vaccines. Those don't work very well. So I don't know. The politics side of it I can't speak to. I'm not really an expert on the politics side, but I am more of an expert on the health side. And I'll say that, you know, the real world is not a clinical trial. And we actually never know if vaccines work. The only thing we could do is look at a trial, try to get people to adopt it, and then after the fact, think about whether or not the disease went down. If you look at MMR, measles, mumps, rubella, observational data went down. I don't get the flu shot. It's painful. I'm a needle phobe. Thank you very much, Maxine. That's nice of you. So yeah, the clinical trials for both vaccines were, they were really breathtaking, and they were better than the protein vaccines, which is even more surprising. But regardless of that, they worked in a controlled setting against placebo. When you do the real world, we don't know what the trial looks like. And what's sad and strange is that we tend to violate all statistical principles when it comes time to put our brains to work. We do just the opposite. For example, how often do you hear, well, I took the vaccine and I still got COVID and this and that? And, it's remarkable because, usually much smarter people would tell you that, there's a reason we do a trial. Individual observation is meaningless. You can find any combination of individual observations. Convince yourself. It's an old joke about black sheep. Do you guys know it? An engineer, a theoretical physicist, an experimental physicist, and a philosopher are walking the hills of Scotland when they spot a black sheep. The engineer exclaims, well, what do you know? The sheep in Scotland are black. The theoretical physicist replies, well, some of the sheep in Scotland are black. The experimental physicist retorts, we can safely say at least one sheep in Scotland is black. The philosopher says, on one side anyway. A mathematician, a biologist, and a statistician are sitting on a hill watching people walk in and out of a building. They see 4 people walk in and 6 walk out. The biologist says, my God, they're reproducing. The statistician says, there have been an average of 5 people in that building over the time we've watched. The mathematician says, if 2 more people walk in there, that building will be empty. Yeah, no, many people in pharma are very passionate. I mean, obviously, you make something like that your life's work. You want medicine to work. You want your friends to be saved by some drug that you made, maybe. All right, so with Philip Morris, remember they had the Altria Group, which I think is the U.S. business, and this is like PM is like PMI, Philip Morris International, right? Pretty sure. And they do Europe, where tobacco revenue actually grew. I'm guessing this is Southeast Asia, and then Australia, East Asia and Australia, so that's like China. And you can see that, most people think of tobacco as a declining industry, but you have actually 6% revenue growth. And you have a product that's literally contagious. Addictive. I don't know how you feel ethically about buying a stock like this, but assuming you don't consider that part of the equation, which is up to you, I'm not going to tell you what to think. Both sides of the business are growing, I want to say. Smoke-free is growing faster. Smoke-free is growing really fast, actually. Either way, the point is you have revenue growth for the first time in a tobacco stock, which is just odd. Yeah, could we see a return where Philip Morris is the top? I mean, actually, if they remerged with Altria, they'd be one of the biggest companies in the world. Right? It's not a small market cap there. 186 billion. They have a ton of debt too, so the enterprise value is actually a bit larger than the market cap. Does everyone understand that concept? Do I have to go through that again? I hope not. Yeah, so 225 billion enterprise value. I think Philip Morris Altria Group is around the same. Anybody else need to go over it again? I'm not gonna do it just for one guy. Okay, just watching, thank you. Yeah, basically that's the idea of Unger, yeah. Yeah, I have a lot of good ways to illustrate it. But did you guys see this major news about 2 Sigma? So 2 Sigma is one of the most powerful firms on Wall Street. You get a job there, you'll be a millionaire. Really great place to work. Came out yesterday that they're going to settle with the SEC over $100 million. I guess it's a Wall Street Journal. Hedge fund 2 Sigma in settlement with the SEC. They have 60 billion in capital. So more capital than almost any other hedge fund. But the 2 CEOs have been fighting for years. And they are both stepping down, which is very interesting. But apparently there was some weird scandal at the firm. One of the quants changed the algorithm without authorization. Jian Wu is trying to boost his compensation. $60 billion, 2,000 employees, thousands of lines of Java code. 450 million in gains for one fund, but 170 million in losses for another fund. I would give this man a bonus. I would sit him down in the conference room and be like, listen, bro, Java is the key language in finance. I would sit him down in the conference room and be like, listen, bro, Jian Wu, you Mr. Wu, you just made us an extra 450. Yes, sir. And you weren't allowed to make this trade, is that right? That's right. Listen, I'm going to tell you real quick. This is where I pull up my pants. You guys know what that meme is? For whatever reason, thugs, gangsters, etc., they pull up their pants. And they're getting real serious. This is the video that inspired me.
No, now, before you take your coat off, that's it. Hey, yo. I've got something to tell you. See,
you know, let me talk to y'all niggas something. You know what I mean? It's like,
why is it every time we go out on the town and get around
you got this little fake ass nigga,
man, you're always
Action Bronson, running around, sounding like me.
When that
He's got a remote control and an old CRT tube monitor in the back.
for you.
But I want to tell this little fat fuck
How
something.
much money I make?
I gave you a grace period, nigga.
And what?
I supposed to destroyed you a long time ago. You want to call these
And it has what you had.
doing is a fraud.
I can't very much blame.
I cause, nigga. Your own told me you mean to say that. Listen to me, man. Right now, I'm Papa Bear, B. I'm Big Papa.
So yeah, I'd sit him down and say 450 mil in bonus, 170 in losses. I'm writing you a check right now for 20 mil, but don't you ever do that again. I'm gonna smack the shit out of you. Do you understand, Woo? I'll make him piss his pants first. I have the gun on the table. I'd be like, do you fucking understand what I'm talking about, bro? Don't you ever make the unauthorized trade again. But we're upgrading you. You're getting a new corner office. We're giving you 15 executives and an extra $5 billion to manage. But you lose $1 of that money, bro. Oh, you want to be a big shot, Mr. Wu, huh? You want to make the big bucks. You want to swing around billions, huh? You made 450 extra for us, but you lost 170 in this other fund. Okay. Hey, you want to be a big shot? Cool. I'll grab him by the scruff of his neck. Sit him in the chair. Be like, all right, I'm going to manage $5 billion. You fuck this up, they're going to find you in the East River. I'm kidding, man. Relax. It's just a joke. Yeah, I'm going to the dentist. I have a bunch of dental issues. I'm getting an implant. Frustrating. Yeah. My father had both my parents had terrible teeth. I think it runs in the family. I know, Albanian, sure. Koje šipe. All right, let's focus on stocks. Yeah, we're gonna do DCF. Yeah, each implant's like $2,000. I already got like 4 or 5. So yeah, the 2 Sigma situation, really wild. I'll hire this guy though. I'm managing a software company. No, just watching. That sounds insane. I don't really care about what the Fed does. I don't know why you should. Now, if you're a professional macro trader, absolutely. And you want me to do a little macro analysis? I'd have to push off the other stocks that I'm supposed to look at. But I can do a little macro. That would kind of be fun, right? Buffett has the same skills, but he does it on pen and paper. And he basically makes some shortcuts. I don't like the shortcuts. But I'm very familiar with how Buffett does it. That's partially where I learned. I don't tell you guys everything I know. Or where I learned it or how. Some of that shit has to stay in the streets. Buffett learned from me, to be honest. Ben Graham. Nice to meet you, Benjamin. Been a fan of your work. Well, Buffett learned from Ben and he had to surpass him, right? I learned from my teachers, had to surpass them. My first teacher recently had a major success. I think he made like 50 or 100 mil. I'm happy for him. It's one of my early bosses. But he never struggled. He was always a millionaire, always making lots of money. But he never had that real big breakthrough, and I think he had that huge breakthrough recently. So I'm very happy for him. Shout out to Ed. Yeah, Ed taught me value investing, at least his brand of it. Ed had a great joke. He said, what is the definition of book value? And of course I would say something like, yeah, I'm not speaking terms with a fake, nothing crazy. I think ever since he got into politics, he's got to be a little more careful. So the joke was, what's the definition of book value? And nerd me, 18, 19 years old, would be like, well, book value is assets minus liabilities, except if you're talking about tangible book value or we exclude goodwill. And he goes, no. Definition of book value is that's the most amount of money you would pay for a stock. And I laughed. Good value investor joke. Yeah. Investing in general is very painful. It's an emotional roller coaster that's not for everyone. It's very hard to stay calm during investing. It's very hard to keep your cool. There's a great book about it called Trading to Win by Avi Kiev. And if you read that book, you might take the first step in that journey. You have to learn to listen to your emotions, not just blunt them, but listen to them. It can work really well, but the thing about trading that's very difficult is you have to be right all the time. And you could be on a very hot streak where you feel like you're getting every trade right, but then if you turn cold, you have to buckle down and avoid risks very quickly. That part is hard. That's the hardest part. But what's hard for me might be different for you. Bliss, I made a 20 million bucks shorting something. That's not even institutional, that's just personal. I think that you should be more stressed when you are trading or losing money. It's weird if you're taking a big loss and you're not feeling anything. I think that's strange, right? Kind of bizarre. You should probably be feeling something. I lost 100 mil just to feel something. That's not a good idea. It's like that song, I put my hand on the stove. put my hand on the stove. If I still. Yeah, you got to manage drawdowns. I never really did well managing money for others. Did very well managing money for myself. But managing money for others is very hard. I don't wish it on anyone. It's like very stressful. Yeah, no, I've definitely blown up accounts. First time was when I was like 19, I would say. I'd gotten my personal trading account up to quite a lot, and I bet it all on this weird merger arb trade, and it was a great learning experience, to say the least. I wish I didn't have it, but okay, take a look at this. They have this. We're doing Philip Morris first. Cigarette and HTU volume. What is this number? In units of billions. Jesus. What's HTU again? Heated tobacco units. I used to know that. Yeah, it's good to not. You want to avoid feeling high. Yes, poker's the same way, exactly. If you start feeling high, that's a really bad sign. But you do get a little high, I gotta admit. Yeah. You can get stock certificates, absolutely. $1.2 million IQOS users. This is like SaaS subscriptions. Do you guys know IQOS? IQOS? I don't smoke. Yeah, the market reaction is immediate, conwits. Okay, there's Zyn. Zyn volume 116 million cans. How much does a Zyn cost? %78 growth. What the fuck? I'm not a big fan of stimulants. Stimulants don't make you smarter. It might help you focus. If it helps you, you know? How much is this in? Do you guys know? Even Tucker's doing his own Zyn, and I know there's a Peter Thiel-backed competitor as well. IQOS is now bigger than Marlboro. Wow. Pretty soon IQOS will be like software. I will visit my fans in Canada at some point. Gotta do my girly world tour before I get married and settle down. I might be going to Penn State to do a speech soon. I'll let you guys know. The Matrix is not after me, no. Yeah, it's gonna be a nice brat summer. Sorry, I gotta go a little faster. I'm going way too slow here. Alright. They sold 151 billion cigarettes in 1 quarter. Jesus Christ. What a product. Yeah, it's insane, right? It's so gross. But what can you do? You have freedom. What you do with it is on you. Some snuff and some snooze. Can I interest you in some snooze? Have you ever been with somebody who just like is spitting in a cup? It's so disgusting. Oh. No, I don't know any girls that do that. Jesus Christ. No, I don't like cigarettes. I don't like vapes. I don't like any of that shit. I don't like weed. I also have asthma, so it doesn't help. This is the weirdest press release. Interesting, their breakdown. This is fascinating. Bio units. What the fuck is a bio unit? Indonesia, the biggest market for cigarettes, then Turkey, then Russia, then Japan, then Italy. I would actually thought Europe was a bigger market. But Indonesians, man, every Indonesian smokes. I don't have a strong opinion on 23andMe. No, I don't think there is any competition with Indonesia. Indonesians are crazy. Everyone smokes there. Makes no sense. Okay, so Philip Morris is getting IQOS in the US, but IQOS isn't a big brand here, I don't think. Well, people will pay anything for Marlboro because of the quality. People love Marlboro. All right, let's get down to business. I think I have a sense for the company at this point. Let's do like a creative valuation. Yeah, the 23andMe situation is kind of crazy. Should we look at that stock? Maybe we should take over 23andMe. We do a chat takeover. I go raise the money. It's kind of a drug company now, though, so I'm not even sure I could take it over. I would need special permission. Dare me to do it, chat? Dare me to do it? We did a hostile takeover company and you won't believe what happened. They'll do anything for the content. No, I don't think 23andMe is very valuable. I have to look at it though. I don't know if did they do like full read DNA sequencing, the whole thing? Or they just looked at SNPs. Galaxy Gas? It's insane. Yeah, they should have bought Galaxy Gas. The tacit acknowledgement that people get high with it. My plans are not malicious, okay? I have no malice whatsoever. Look at the growth. Do you guys see this? Look at the product. Look at this shit. Zins were literally 1 million pouches, then 42 million, now 421 million. At least the growth is leveled out. It's only going to be like 500 or 600 million. Next. I think a pouch is basically the can of Zen, and you put it in. You put the pouch in your mouth, basically. Even snooze have grown like crazy. Yeah, I'll get a fresh fade soon. Fresh Caesar. Go to the Hood Barbershop. Hey, what up? I need one of these. Say less, fam. This is PM. Did I not put it on the site? Yeah, it should be on the bottom left. $PM. That means Philip Morris International. Oh, good for you, Cassius. Nice trade. I think like 90% of the cigarettes they sell are Marlboro. Something in that order. They bought Swedish Match, which is the Zyn company, right? Okay, here's the shipment numbers. They don't add up to the total, which is what bothers me a bit. Maybe they do. Okay, maybe they do, maybe they do. They kind of do. Okay, no, they do, they do. I'm just kind of bugging. Okay, because I want to put these down here. That's revenue. Let me do, should I put it like here? will be a really interesting analysis. Like I want to see and forecast like what percentage of each population will smoke. Poland increasing its smoking, bucking the trend. We have any polls in the chat? Why are you guys smoking more? Egypt, here we go. Oh, I see. So this is the market share they have. Egypt also increased. Indonesia's finally going down. They got to get that shit under control. The Philippines also finally dramatically decreased. Man, the Turks smoke a lot too. I think all the children in Indonesia smoke. Almost no market share in Australia. That's interesting. They're huge in Japan. Can you imagine being a tobacco executive in Australia and you're like, I gotta get my numbers up. I gotta get these people smoking. What the fuck? Get these kids smoking. Why are our numbers going down? That would be me as a tobacco boss. You need to get hooked these kids early. I'm talking about in schools. I'm talking about their parents hook them. Come on. The fuck are you guys doing? Smacking somebody. in all my boss dreams, I'm smacking somebody. I'm a nice boss. Okay, so like, let's sort these. Excel, sort these. Fucking AI isn't here yet. Okay. So population of Indonesia. 275 million. It's insane. A lot of people sleep on Indonesia. So this is 83 billion units sold, right? Yeah. So in Indonesia, Philip Morris sells you 300 cigarettes a person. Every person, smokers and non-smokers. Okay, how about Turkey? Turkey might be worse. $812 cigarettes per person in Turkey per year. What's Russia population like? 200, 150, 144. So it looks like per Japan's up there. So these are their 5. Let's just look at their 5 biggest markets. Okay, so the biggest smokers in the world per capita, at least of Philip Morris products: Turkey, Italy, Japan, Russia, and Indonesia. The Turks are the biggest smokers in the world. How about that? At least of Philip Morris products. I mean, there's other... Yeah, I do, Charles. You've been asking that over and over again. Yeah, we don't like cassava here. I do think by then you'll have the answer, yeah. All right, let's see if we can get some statistics on smoking in general. Is TARS heavily shorted? I didn't know that. Okay, we're not smoking turkey. Let's see, turkey tobacco. (31.6% of Turkish adults currently smoke. Let's look at the survey here. It's 31.2 going to 31.6, so it's pretty stable. There's plenty of anti-cigarette stuff. Everyone thinks it's bad for you. So is this going to decline? Wait. Get out of here, kitty. Shut up. Shush. I love you too. I love you too. Yes, I do. Get out of my way. Get out of my way. Come on. What's this? Wow. Get it. Yeah, good. Fuck out my way. Alright, I'm not sure how to forecast this. This is tricky. Oh, here's Swedish Match revenue. Interesting. Zyn revenue was $2 billion last year. Not as big as you might think, but I think that's just in... Is that globally? I think it is. Look at the profit margin, 824 and 2.5. So 33% operating margins. Yeah, most of the product is US. Almost all of it, in fact. Nobody's taking Zyn anywhere else but the US. Look at the growth, 10x year over year. Yeah, no growth. Literally nobody's taking it outside the US and maybe Sweden. I like fresh, yeah. I was gonna buy some fresh. I got my interactive brokers coming back up just for you guys. Maybe on Monday I'll have interactive brokers for live trading. Although I confess it's not my day job to trade, and it never will be. My job is to create value by making startups. Okay. Petterfy's the man. Why were you upset when he came down on GME? Mir Menjez. Siye, Bor, siye. Ona Yamir. Yeah, right, Emmanuel? The pipeline. It's non-small cell lung cancer. So real. Oh, these are really interesting companies. I think it's important, even if you follow biotech, that you understand how other companies work. Yeah, I'd say interactive brokers is just best in general. Short squeeze is not a real thing. It's just imaginary nonsense. No, it's not always easy, Ignat. Very tricky. The art of forecasting it's as much art as it is science. That's very, very, very difficult. We're often wrong. Forecasting is also, it can be very embarrassing. So the fact that I do it in public, I'm a glutton for punishment. Yeah, GameStop is no longer really a business. It's mostly Ryan Cohen, who sounds like a good person to make a bet on. But what price are you willing to make the bet? Yeah, greater fool theory never really works out in the long run, in my opinion. Anyway, a little bit of a diversion there. Lots of diversions, actually. Phillip Morris is interesting. I want to look at one or two more 10Ks, and then we move on to stuff I know more about, like drug stocks. Oh, by the way, this stream is brought to you by NVIDIA. Thank you, Jensen, so much for sending me the card. Appreciate it. NVIDIA for all artificial intelligence and gaming needs. These hyperlinks don't even work. Sad. Okay. Is this PMI? This doesn't look right. Do they do some kind of transaction? Oh, net revenues. Got it, got it, got it. So the excise taxes, wow. Unbelievable. We're still looking at Phillip Morris. The free cash flow picture is a little bit different from the net income picture. I feel like I'm Gilbert Strang explaining the row picture of a matrix versus the column picture of a matrix. The row picture. Anybody watch the Strang videos? Pog. Kappa in the chat. All cap. You didn't watch Gilbert Strang. Cap, cap, cap. Stop capping. Whoever thought Philip Morris International would be a growth company? Not me. Okay. So average cash flow for the last 6 years was 9 billion. All right, it looks kind of expensive, honestly. Average free cash flow. I don't know. I don't think the futures market's going to make much of a difference for these guys. They'll probably hedge their tobacco costs. Don't they grow it themselves? I would think. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. To me, this is a pretty rich valuation. Or the company can always be a battering ram or pinata for policymakers. You need any more tax revenue? Just go hit up Philip Morris for another billion. They buy the tobacco from farmers, but they probably hedge. Yeah, Zyn is not growing anymore. And there's competitors. Tucker Carlson getting off Zyn is big news. This could be a short. I like the stock at like 10 times earnings, but this is insane. I'm paying 22 times earnings for a tobacco stock. That's way too much. You know, and again, this is where, like, I'm not a tobacco investor. I played around with the field, but the stock's doubled. And I can buy tech stocks, software stocks, and drug stocks for a lot cheaper with more growth. Like Oracle. Oracle's been outperforming. Would you rather buy Oracle or this thing? I think Tucker's switching brands, either to his own brand or another brand. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm no go for me on Philip Morris. I'd actually short that. It's going to be a boring stock. Like, it can't grow rapidly. So I'm pretty suspicious of that. All right. We're going to look at a biotech, APLD.